Hi there, my name is Mr. Clout, and I'm going to be the instructor for the astronomy course. So in this video, I just want to kind of talk a little bit about expectations for the course so that you have an idea of what's going to happen and what your child will be doing in this class. First thing I want to talk about is how to get in touch with me. The best way is through email. It's the only way that I can kind of do it at my own time and be able to get to you as soon as possible. This is my email. This is the standard teacher email, so you could use that. Once Canvas gets updated, you can always contact me through Canvas as well. If you can contact me either through your child's account, or you can set up a parent observer account and contact me through there. If you don't like email or you don't have the ability, you can always call me through the school and leave a message. The only issue is sometimes we end up kind of passing by each other a lot, where my free time, because it's so limited, might not coincide with your free time. But of course, if you prefer call, we could try to make it work and find a time that works for both of us. Now, some of the things that we'll discuss about astronomy is stuff like the sky, the stars, solar system, universe, and life on other planets. So we basically discuss a lot of this stuff. Hopefully, it's enough to kind of grab a lot of students' attention. In fact, we are planning on trying to set up a field trip for a lot of the students related to all this stuff. Um, the required materials, there's really not much. It's standard stuff. Obviously, they need a pen or pencil so that they can work on any of the worksheets that get handed out. One thing I do recommend is a three-ring binder and some loose leaf, mainly because of the fact that a lot of the stuff that I give them are in the form of worksheets, note packets, things like that. So it's really helpful for them to have it all organized neatly in their binder, easy to grab. I found that when they just throw it into a folder, it can get really confusing and kind of jumbled up. The grading policy is very similar to the entire science department. This is something that's standard at this point. Tests, quizzes, and projects are going to be worth 70%. Labs and participation are going to be worth 15% each. So the assessment area, as I said, it's mainly tests, quizzes, and projects. The tests and quizzes, that's going to be done throughout the quarter. Each unit basically ends with a quiz with maybe a few mini quizzes thrown in between. And then ultimately at the very end of the quarter, they'll take some sort of culminating test, either a midterm or final, depending on which quarter you're talking about. And these tests and quizzes will have a combination of multiple choice questions, fill in the blank, matching, labeling, just standard short answer type questions. Nothing too crazy. In addition, once each quarter, we have a project set up. The project's actually meant to kind of help out a lot of the students who might have been struggling with the tests and quizzes, because not every student, can show what they know and show what they've learned through this. A lot of times, some students have some anxiety issues, so the project is a something that they can do in class and work on. Sometimes they can work in groups to kind of, help, but it's something. It's got lenient due dates. It's like I said, everything's kind of done in class. The one thing though is because the project is part of the assessment, if they miss the project, that can really hurt their grade. So it's extremely important that they actually complete the project. Grading policy for labs. So they end up doing labs throughout the quarter. It's very hands-on activity where they can kind of put what they learn to use. Sometimes they work in groups. This is going to be done again in class. They really aren't expected to take any work home with them unless they just haven't been doing it in class. The one thing I'll say about the labs is because this course is not a Regents-based course, these labs aren't mandatory in the same way that they were in living environment and earth science. I'm sure you've all probably experienced that at some point, where the teachers were constantly contacting you and the school is contacting you about making sure that students get a certain number of labs. We don't really have that situation. You know, Students just have to work on labs, and it just really only affects their grade. There's no requirement for the end of the year. Grading policy for the class participation. Class participation is just based off of the students' work throughout the day. The way it works is I just look to see how well they're doing their work, and at the end of the week, I give them a grade that basically is supposed to reflect how they've been doing. For the most part, it's a fairly easy 100 for them. In order to get that 100, they just have to make sure that they do any do nows in classwork to the best of their ability. That's pretty much it. When I tell them to go off to a lab table and start working on lab, or tell them to, work on some worksheet, read a passage, do this, do that, as long as they're doing the work in some fashion, they get 100. So when you look at iCampus and you see the grade and you see that they got 100, that basically means that they've been doing the work that they're supposed to. If they aren't doing that work, if they get something less than 100, that usually means that they're doing something wrong, such as playing on their phone, or they could be sleeping, talking, being distracting, just generally, again, not doing the work that they're supposed to. Uh, and that's basically it. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me in some form. Like I said, email is the best way. I hope to experience a nice, productive year with your kid. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Otherwise, good luck. Have a great day.